What's up? This is your boy Mike from AFTV AU back again with another video. AFTV AU, Arsenal in the Europa League final versus Chelsea. Of course, we're doing a preview, boys. I mean, like, I know I haven't been uploading regularly, but this is too big a game to miss. Now look, the first thing I'm going to get into is that it's a really big game for both teams. Both teams really need to win, but I mean, look, Europa League is not a Champions League. It's not like a Premier League title or winning, but it's a European trophy nonetheless. It's still something that both teams really want to win, so you can expect both teams to be really, really up for it. It's massive motivation for Chelsea, for Sarri to win a trophy, to put something nice on the end of their season, to have something positive to reflect on. It's going to be really big motivation for them. Obviously, they're not going to want us to win stuff this season, keeping us out of the Champions League, so that'd be big for them. But when you've got Arsenal's side of the coin, I mean, even as well, one thing I need to mention with Chelsea, Eden Hazard, he will want to win something, with Chelsea to leave a nice end to his legacy there before most likely moving on to Real Madrid, it seems. But like I said, looking on the Arsenal side of the coin, there's a lot there too. Like I said, you want to win European trophies. Our first one since '94, I believe, with Alan Smith up top. And was Ian Wright his partner? I haven't seen the game firsthand, but from what I know about it, that's what I think. Also, we need to get back in the Champions League. I mean, like we talk about giving Aubameyang and Lacazette new contracts. We talk about the likes of Hakim Ziyech and Samuel Umtiti being linked with our team. We need Champions League football for these type of deals. And if we, these are the type of deals we need to really be a solid top four competitor every single season and to be asking questions in Liverpool and Man City and push for a Premier League title. These are the type of signings we need, and we need more of them. But to do that, we need Champions League football. So it's a must in that sense. Also, a fair few players at Arsenal could be looking at their last game, Well, there's ones we know will be. Petr Cech, Danny Welbeck most likely, quite possibly Koscielny, because injuries and stuff, who knows how long he'll play on for. Then also possibilities such as like Mohamed El Nenis, maybe a Nacho Monreal, quite possibly a Shkodran Mustafi. There's a lot of players that could be playing their last game for Arsenal, so it's big that we send it off for them and that those players, if they play, perform. So massive in that sense. As well, Aaron Ramsey. We need to do this for him, man. He's kind of like, it's hard to call him a legend because he didn't achieve what Thierry Henry and Bergkamp, but like for the dark ages in a sense that we've been in of not having many big trophies apart from those few FA Cups, man. I mean, Aaron Ramsey's been one of our best players through this run. He's won a lot with us for what we have won. He's scored a lot of important goals for us, been massive in cup finals and things like that. So we can win one more trophy before the guy goes. Massive just send off and thanks to Aaron Ramsey. The other one, Henrik Mkhitaryan. I mean, seriously, man, something to put a smile on that guy's face after this whole thing with UEFA and the Azerbaijan-Armenia thing. I mean, UEFA's response to the situation has been complete bullshit. For one, forget Mkhitaryan, 6k fans each. Arsenal and Chelsea, two of the top six in England. Arsenal, one of the biggest clubs in England, biggest clubs in the world when you're talking about fan base and global brand. Chelsea, very big in that regard as well. The amount of fans that will want to go, seriously, and you can only get 6k each, which is ridiculous. The prices to get to Baku from England are ridiculous. The ability to get there, which they use as their justification for the ticket allocation, is ridiculous. And then it becomes 1,000 times more ridiculous when you factor in the Henrik Mkhitaryan thing, that he because he's Armenian, that his safety can't be guaranteed, or they think they can, or I don't know what the hell the deal is, and they were going to let him go over there. But look, credit to Mkhitaryan for having the balls to be like, as much as he wants to win this Europa League final and win a trophy or whatever, he's going to be like, look, boys, it's not safe for me to go over there, I don't think, and if I'm with the boys, it may not be safe for you lot either, so I'm going to sit this one out for everybody's sake. So props to Mkhitaryan for being selfless in that regard. But seriously, man, Arsenal, Chelsea, you got two clubs in the same country, in England. Given the whole situation and the way this is blown up, doesn't that justify, say, moving it to Wembley? You know, because that stadium will be massive. You know, you can fill it up easily. It's very easy for the fans in England to get to. It's easy for the teams to get to. And anybody who wants to fly out to England, I'm sure that'd be easier than flying out to Azerbaijan. You know, and the whole getting the visas. Like, come on, man. Like, you know, you go from say no to racism to, yeah, fine, we could say yes to racism if you pay us enough money. Like, that's a joke. But I should have made a whole nother video on that. But anyway, that's like, UEFA's like, fucking hell, seriously, that's bullshit. But yeah, next. And the other thing I was going to say too is, even though you're going to get a few thousand fans from England for Arsenal, plus, like I said, one of the biggest clubs in the world in terms of being a global brand and having a global fan base, you are going to get a lot of fans from other countries over there. 100%. A lot of supporters clubs, a lot of things like that. People watch you from different places, on the telly, in the different bars and shit over there, from the Emirates, you know, waiting for the trophy parades the next day, in the stadium. There's gonna be a shit ton of fans. I mean, not disrespecting Chelsea's fan base, they will have a fair few, but we will outnumber them. I'm telling you now. And fans got to be a 12th man for the club, the team. And the players cannot let us down. If you see me looking back, I'm trying to grab something. You know, I want to do my bit, be a 12th man as well. Hence why, even though I got school tomorrow, I am waking up like 2.5 hours earlier than usual, losing 2.5 hours of sleep just to wake up and watch the game for the boys. You know, seriously. It's, you know, fans like, you know, watching from overseas, making sacrifices like that for time difference, and the fans going there in such harsh, very hard circumstances to get there. They deserve a lot of respect and a lot of credit too, and the players should be doing it for them. There's a lot to motivate these players. Damn, I didn't know my hairline was like that. You can tell the difference, but there's a lot to motivate these players. I have to do it. It's that simple. You know, I need something to lighten up the mood and warm things up a little bit because it's fucking freezing here. But seriously, massive game. We really need to win it. I remember the first preview I ever put on my channel was actually Arsenal versus Chelsea as well. So how fitting is that? I think we went on to... Was that the game we lost 3-2 this season? I think it was. It must have been. But... yeah, it would have been. But, yeah, massive, like I said. I'm repeating myself now. What else was I going to say? The other thing too, the fact about getting back in the Champions League, I was saying the new deals. Now, about how I think Arsenal should play, how Arsenal should set up. For me, there's a choice of two formations which should work against Chelsea. You can either go 4-1-2-1-2 diamond formation, which is what we played against them in the Emirates. So you have your one holding DM, either Torreira or Xhaka, and then you put Torreira, or you put the other one in one of the wide centre mid positions alongside probably Guendouzi, and then have like Ozil as your number 10, so a diamond midfield along the lines of that, with the 4 at the back, or you go 3-4-1-2. So you have your 3 centre backs, 2 centre mids. Sorry, guys. Cam, wingers, and striker, or wingers / fullbacks. But I think that Arsenal are better off going for that 3 at the back, given that I don't think Ainsley, Maitland-Niles, and Siad Kolasinac are out now. 4 in the back fullbacks. So I think we need to go 3-4-1-2. So in terms of the lineup, I'm gonna go. It's hard because you want to be a little bit sentimental for Czech and put him in there, but look, it's a final. You have to go for Leno. Especially with this stuff, like Czech may have one eye on the sporting director thing at Chelsea, which most likely he will go. So, in like all of that aside, it's a European final. This Europa League, all you want. It's a European final. No, it's something in my nail. I don't know what it is. But it's a European final. You play your best team. I'm sorry. Burn Leno in goal. Now into the back three. Right centre back, I want Socrates. So obviously Socrates just really big presence in that position. Our best defender. Easily our best defender this season and just in general. So, and plus Hazard coming on that left side. You need Socrates to cover Ainsley and probably Torreira as well, if need be, to deal with a guy like Hazard. So definitely Socrates right centre back. In the centre of the three, I want Laurent Koscielny. Now, again, Koscielny, he could be lifting this trophy, I mean, as captain of Arsenal. So, big performance from him needed. Big performance from him needed to really partner Socrates and be the two bad man in that sort of defence, man. Just rough them up, and along with Socrates having to deal with the likes of Giroud / Higuain, also Eden Hazard, like I said, even Winley and Pedro, you call them shit, but they can be threatening. So definitely big performance in it from Koscielny. That left centre back spot going to Nacho Monreal. Now, possibly could be problems by Eden Hazard if they go to expose the channels and he drifts over, but I prefer Monreal than Mustafi because I feel like he's a lot less mistake prone, which we can all agree. Just watch my video talking about Mustafi's mistakes against Crystal Palace. I think he single-handedly lost us that game in a sense. We do not need that in the European final. I'm sorry. I mean, look, I will give credit to Mustafi. He has been all right at the end of the season. He has had some performances, and I myself and a lot of other fans have probably overly slated him at some times. And he has had some good statistics and everything else, but come on. Some of the mistakes he's made do give a solid justification for what we say about him. Hence you would go with someone like Nacho Monreal. Plus, Nacho Monreal being a fullback who does have experience getting up and down the pitch and crossing balls in and scoring the odd few goals, can be that centre-back that may be a bit more comfortable on the ball than the likes of Socrates and possibly Koscielny as well. So that could be a factor. Monreal left centre-back. Now to the wing-backs. On the right, Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Going forward, this guy's a threat. I've seen some of the things he's done. I can't remember which game it was, but he full nutty the fullback, I think, with this move and put a nice cross in, and I think it was Aubameyang who tucked it away. It was a beautiful goal, man. Beautiful goal. Just the way he set it up. We know what he can do going forward. He's got the pace to deal with Hazard, but again, just the inexperience in that position compared to Bellerin, playing there. And, Nick Steiner. Also, his last game. Winner from Nick Steiner. But, yeah. So, that is going to be something that he's going to need a bit of protection from the likes of Torreira in the midfield and Socrates behind them. But, yeah, it needs to be on his game to do with Hazard. You cannot afford that sort of slow opening in the first, 10 to 20 odd minutes. And otherwise, Hazard will be tearing him a new one the whole game. So, definitely big performance needed from Ainsley Maitland-Niles, especially defensively. Left wing back, Sead Kolasinac. Look, again, if Hazard drifts over to the right plus Pedro and the likes, he needs to be on his game defensively. Kolasinac, we know what he can do going forward. He's brilliant getting up and down that wing and causing problems, getting in those brilliant positions. We know from his time at Schalke the guy can whip it across, but when he's been doing it for us, I will use what DT says. Either hits the first man or goes into row Z or Z, or however you want to say it. The guy's crossing accuracy with us needs to improve. If he can get the crossing right, whether they be the big ones on the ground, the likes of Aubameyang can feed off of those balls. The likes of Laka, we need, him to help us out massively with those supply lines and rack up an assist or two. Also, he needs to be on his game defensively. So there's a sort of back five plus keeper. Right centre / defensive mid, Lucas Torreira. Now, like I said about Ainsley needing protection, Torreira has to offer that protection for Maitland-Niles to keep Hazard quiet. Probably at times needs to make sure Hazard doesn't get space in the middle, a little bit of man marking here and there if need be. Need to keep Hazard quiet. Will help us release the ball quick. From transmitting from defense into attack and hitting Chelsea on the counter at times. and just overall mopping up defensively and giving us energy in midfield to overpower Chelsea, which I feel that if we could really have a chance at doing, especially considering Kante is in doubt. I mean, he probably will play, but given that, here's a chance for us to really win the midfield battle, take the tiki-taka possession out of, away from them a bit and really cause problems. So a guy like Torreira can really help break up the play in that sense and break up Chelsea's style of play, which could be key. Left centre mid, Granit Xhaka. I praise the guy a lot, and I feel like he's had a good season in terms of his passing, the set pieces he offers, bringing physicality and fight into that midfield. But for all of the praises I've sung, he has made a lot of mistakes. He does, for all of those crisp passes that he could play to create chances and get assists, he's also got that pass in him that just gives the ball away. He also lacks the mobility and can allow sort of those sneaky midfielders and guys to really get in behind him and cause problems. Like, I do not want Hazard, Like, imagine Hazard coming inside and then just drifting behind Xhaka and starting to create... That could be hell. That could really be a problem. So Xhaka really needs to be careful. Needs to be trying to move around as much as he can, doing his thing there. Needs to, be supplying our, wide fullback strikers, other mids and everything, getting the ball forward. Take the sloppy pass out of the game. Give us that aggression, but make sure doesn't go from aggressive to rash and give away too many fouls and cards and stuff. Xhaka needs to be aggressive, but somewhat disciplined as well, and make sure there are no sloppy mistakes. But if he can do that, then he's a serious threat in midfield. And him and Torreira, look, you can safely say that they're our best midfield pairing at the moment. So Granit Xhaka left centre mid. Number 10, Mesut Ozil. I mean, look, Mkhitaryan, we know why he's not there. Aaron Ramsey's injured. And for God's sake, do not even think about Iwobi. I mean, maybe off the bench, but do not start the guy. He's seriously been overrated by a lot of fans this season. I mean, I give the guy credit for improvement, but like Kolasinac, when he gets in the positions, he doesn't convert nothing into goals and assists. He might have the odd good end product, but where is it? The rest of it, he's quick, he's strong, he's a master dribbler. He can cause as many problems as the likes of your Mahrez, your Sané's, your Sterling's. And when it comes to that final ball, the guy's dog shit. And that's what separates him from being up there with the likes of your Sterling's and Sané's, etc. That's... So, definitely, I don't want him starting. And with Mesut Ozil, who I really should be talking about, the guy, at times, he really needs to step up, in his performances in big games away from home. But look, it's a European final, and in a game that might be slowed down, given the nature of it, more cagey, and take some time to open up and harder to get opportunities, he could be the guy to really go and open that door. We've got players, like I said, you've got the likes of Iwobi and Kolasinac and etc. who can knock on the door. But we need a guy to open the door. So the likes of Orban, Laka can get through and score. And Mesut Ozil is that guy that can really open the door. And he's the one, he knows how to play a good through ball in behind, Ozil. We've seen him do it for Aubameyang a few times, along with Mickey as well, although he's not here. And given that Rudiger is not available for Chelsea, and they're probably going to have to go with Christensen, David Luiz pairing, that pace could seriously be lacking at the back. So those type of balls could be key. So Mesut Ozil, number 10. Going to play two strikers up top, obviously. On the right, I want Lacazette kind of being the main number 9, holding up the play, using his pace to cause problems, trying to score goals, link it up with Ozil and Orban and all the rest of that. Just being that, and his work rate, being that all-round top brilliant striker that won him player of the season for Arsenal this season. And next to him, kind of on that left, is our sort of second striker, Aubameyang. The guy making them diagonal runs in behind for the likes of Ozil to supply him and to link up with Lacazette, feeding off wide balls from the likes of Maitland-Niles and Kolasinac if he can learn to cross in the next few hours. He could seriously be lethal, man. And please, man, if we go like 3-0 up or something and we have this against bed, bring the mask out. But yeah, special request, bring the mask out, bruv. But seriously, man, Aubameyang needs a big performance to score more goals. But I have faith he will do it because he's had a brilliant season for us. I mean, yeah, look, okay, he missed a penalty against Spurs. He did blah, 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 blah. And he's missed a few. But who doesn't miss chances, yeah? Like, Lukaku cost 20 million more than him. And look how dog shit he's been for Manchester United. Aubameyang is a world-class striker. He won the Golden Boot playing out of position for most of the season. And then when you compare that to the team the likes, your Manes and Salah have around them versus what Aubameyang has around him, seriously, this guy's a lethal goal scorer. And this season, what's left of it, this one game, and hopefully the next 2-3 seasons before that decline really starts to set in, let's make the most out of this guy because he is a serious threat, man. He's a seriously world-class striker. One of the best in the world. One of the best in Europe. Aubameyang is world-class, man. Let's make the most out of him, please. Watch, man, that partnership with Laka, linking up with the likes of Ozil. I could see him scoring one. He could have a seriously good game. I want a big performance from Alba, and I think we will. I definitely feel that we will get it. And now, you don't usually see this mentioned, but key players that we need on the bench. Who do we want on the bench? Guendouzi, number one. I don't want the guy to start because I just think this is an occasion a bit too much for that. But, if things with Xhaka ain't working, bring Guendouzi on. He'll have a bit more pace in the midfield, more energy. So it'll be good in that sense. And, with Torreira, they can get a bit more encouraging play out of him. So he could definitely be a solid midfield option to have on the bench. Mohamed Elneny, I've dissed the guy. I don't like him starting at all. And most Arsenal fans will agree. But if we're 2-3 goals up in the last 15, 20 odd minutes, bring him on to shore up how we play. Just make sure we ain't giving the ball away, and that is when Mohamed Elneny is really, really useful. Before we do get rid of him and upgrade, which we need to, let's make the most out of what he can give us. So, Mo Elneny could be a very important component on the bench. What have we got in terms of Mustafi? I mean, look, we just need another centre-back, so obviously Mustafi. Obviously, you need a keeper, so check. So we've got two more guys that can go on the bench, Iwobi. Like I said, I really don't want him to start, but again, off the bench, Iwobi brings us something. He can be causing problems, and he actually does play pretty well against Chelsea, so you do bring him on with half an hour to go or so, he could cause a problem, and maybe you get, the better side of his game out of him. He can cause problems, so definitely I want Iwobi on the bench ready to go. And the last one, I can already see myself getting laughed at for this, and people are going to underestimate this guy, but Danny Welbeck. The guy's back from injury, yeah? He can play. And one thing we know about Danny Welbeck, he may not be the best ever attacker, striker, winger, whatever, but he's got power and he's got pace. Bring him on with 20, 25 minutes to go. The guy will stretch the shit out of Chelsea's defence. Thank you very much, Nissan. He will stretch the shit out of the defence. On top of that, he can be the guy to bring off the bench, give us more pace in attack and a bit more physicality to add that other dimension and pinch a goal. And it could be another one of the moments where we thought we've won a title, even though we haven't. But yeah, Danny Welbeck, man, he can score some crucial goals. So definitely want him on the bench. Now, anything else I've got to add in terms of what we're going to do, how we play? We really have to get the balance right. We have to attack Chelsea. I think they've got a defence there for the taking and a midfield if they don't have Kante. So we've really got to go, take it straight to them and really be commanding, get on the front foot. But then at the same time, you can't overdo that and leave yourself exposed because the likes of Hazard will cause us serious problems if we stay open at the back. We got to be tight, but we can't be negative, which we have been at times this season. We have to get in the front foot, controlling the ball, controlling possession, and going at Chelsea, making everything count. At the same time, we have to stay tight at the back, and we can't be giving away anything stupid, seriously. We cannot. So, yeah, that's my consensus for the game. Anyway, I mean, what else have I got to say? I mean, it's such a big game. It's probably going to be more than half an hour, most likely. I mean, I'll throw this in there. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like getting it off my chest a bit. This game, for me personally, given that I'm a fan, I haven't seen firsthand the major trophies like the Prem title and the Champions League. This ain't that level yet, but it's a European trophy, and I'm hella nervous going into this game. I mean, I'm not gonna go massively into this, but I mean, I've had a shitty week. I've had a shitty week, man, and you know, it hurts, fam, but don't deny me that, like, kind of Panadol painkillers, whatever you want to call it. Arsenal, please do not give me more shit to worry about and get me even more upset. Come on, man. Just put a smile on my face. Put a smile on all the fans' faces. And let's bring this trophy home, man. Let's bring some European success back to Arsenal, fam. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you leave a like, comment, make your predictions, subscribe to the channel, and hopefully I'll be catching you with like a nice little review or something with a smile on my face after the match. Quick prediction: 3-2 Arsenal win. And just because I put it in the comments of another video saying that Danny Welbeck would be key, and some people want to slag me off, Danny Welbeck winner.